Hey everyone, this is Duskull, that gamer, and I'm giving you guys an update. First of all, you might think that I sound kind of distant. You might hear a lot of background noise right now, and my quality of this recording is pretty low. The reason? I didn't bring my laptop with me on this trip. I'm on a trip right now until May 14th in Iowa. I've actually been having a great time, and I know people keep on asking me, why are you in Iowa? What's in Iowa? I'm just living right now for a month or so with some friends, and it's a really long story I'm not going to get into right now. However, though, the bright side is that it's been fantastic. It's really been a very sort of inspirational experience. I'll get more into that later, but I wanted to answer a few common questions I've been receiving since I've been gone for the last couple weeks or so. Okay, first of all, I keep on getting this question, so I might as well answer it. Ryan, why are there ads on your video? Well, you see, when you're a partner, you have a choice for monetization. And I am not going to lie, I do like money. But I also don't want to be a person who sells out my soul. When I made this channel originally, I didn't expect it to become as popular as it has. I'm surprised a year and a half after making it, we're almost to 6,000 subscribers, that this channel is literally made just for me to do whatever, so I'm appreciative of every single person here. And as well, I'm appreciative of people hopefully understanding what I'm going to say by this. And that is, when you're a partner, you get to select how to put ads onto your videos. That's how revenue sharing works, because advertisements are money and such. So yes, those advertisements that you see do in turn make some income for me, which is helpful because I've right now been saving up for an apartment. Generally, what I use money for, earned through YouTube revenue sharing through the last few months, is I've been saving up most of it. Like, I've made this vow with how I split my funds. Currently, about 65% of it goes to just saving up right now, hopefully to buy an apartment soon. The second is that I buy games with it because I love games, and that's for myself and friends. I am a type of person who loves giving to others, so I commonly do that. And the last percentage of it I've been putting towards, this is going to sound really dorky when I say it, I've been putting a lot of funding towards Kickstarter projects ever since that's been growing. Yes, I know. I've been sitting there looking, saying, yeah, that looks like a pretty neat game. I'd love to see that. I'll think I might fund it. There's actually one other thing, though. Kickstarter, I'm kind of combining with my own personal funding, because I think I've mentioned this before. I do work on game development, and I do have some money put aside for development of that, even though I don't think I need too much money to create it, because most of it is entirely self-created. But you guys will be seeing more about the game development stuff in no time. I really want to show you some of it right now, but I'm going to wait till I can properly show you footage, demos, music. That'll come pretty soon. I'm excited, and you guys hopefully will be excited too when I eventually can show you guys that. But anyways, to answer the initial question, yes, those advertisements are put down by me. Yes, I endorse them, but I also want to say, you guys might not know this, but I turn down more advertising requests than I actually accept. Probably because some of them were just stupid, other ones just, I don't want to sell my soul like that, because when you do stuff like this, you have to try and, like, if you have an opportunity, you want to take it, but you also have to stand by your own morals, and that's what I believe, at least. Like, I don't mind too much putting, and this is my current self-entitled decision, I like putting advertisements, like, if there's a video that's longer than 15 minutes, I usually put advertisements every 15 to 20 minutes or so in the video, because my figure of that's about as long as a normal YouTube video or as long as a TV show, so it kind of makes sense for an advertisement there. And however, though, I always try to go for the really short ones, the advertisements that last like 5 to 20 seconds. However, as some of my friends have been pointing out, I probably need to change my advertising settings, because right now my advertisements have nothing to do with my videos. Like, apparently I have lots of toothpaste commercials, and I'm like, what the fuck? But this might be someone. I didn't even look into that when I'm back. But there's some advertisements where they want you to do product placement, or they want you to put full fucking movie trailers in your things. And you might not know this, when you start getting a little bit of popularity on YouTube, you start getting all these advertisers who want to use you to help get their projects noticed or something. Like, you might be offers like, hey dude, I'll pay you so and so to do a playthrough of this game, and I never take advertise. I never take those because that just feels so much like I'm selling my soul to something. Or if I have to literally in a video promote a product or something, and yes, some people can do that. There's some advertisements or some users you might watch that do this type of stuff, but I really don't want to go to that level. I am just fine putting in like just those occasional ads. Anyways, that was the first one because I've been getting that a lot recently, probably because my channel's been being discovered a lot. And that leads to the next question I've been getting a lot recently, which is very similar. The common question of, hey, aesthetic gamer, you're kinda popular on YouTube. How do I get popular? Which I can give 3 very simple advice tips from personal experience. I've said this earlier in this video and before. This channel was originally made because I was part of a group channel and I just made these videos that I enjoyed doing for myself. But ultimately I decided, you know, why am I putting this on this group channel? This isn't even really related to what we're doing. I'll just make my own channel and I'll post those there. And so I made Aesthetic Gamer and I just started making gameplay videos because I enjoy doing that. And that's the first step, by the way. You need to love what you're doing. And the reason why people can aim to be popular, I certainly didn't, but some people can. It can always be a thought in the back of your mind. And it would, I mean, the thing is, though, you don't want that to be your main goal or your main focus, thinking, I have to be popular, I have to be popular, I have to be popular. No. Because that's not going to really help you. Because if you try to be popular, you might do things that might take the soul out of your work, or for a less like figuratively artsy way, it just more so takes the fun out of doing it away. And if you have less fun making your videos, they might not come out as good. If they don't come out as good, people might not enjoy them as much. And if people don't enjoy them as much, you are less likely to become popular most of the time. And my point being with that, you first need to do what you love, but you also have to sort of keep in mind of who your audience is, sort of what direction you want to go into. The more popular you become, the more, for lack of a better term, haters you get. Something you might notice is that I've made the policy never to delete a comment unless, of course, it is offensive, or if it, not even just to me, just offensive to people in general, or very inappropriate for that matter, or if a comment is just completely unintelligible drabble, which doesn't happen as often as you might think. I know YouTube commenters don't have the best rep, but some of them are very nice people to talk to, from my experience. Anyways, though, getting off that, though, I've noticed the more popular I become, the more quote-unquote hate comments I get. I say quote-unquote because some of them are just drabble, don't really matter, but others are pretty intelligently well-constructed criticism pieces. Sometimes. But going with that, if you plan to get popular, if you start getting popular without realizing it like I did, you just simply have to go with the punches there, because there are people who will be jealous of you. Here's an example. Let's say you lived in just a normal suburban neighborhood, and suddenly your house strikes oil. Like suddenly you're getting buttloads of money from all this oil that you're seeking out, and your house randomly gets selected to be remodeled into a mansion. You didn't do anything for any of that. And now your neighbors are starting to notice. What the fuck did this guy do to deserve all this fantastic stuff happening to him? He didn't do anything special to deserve any of that. And that leads into jealousy, and jealousy goes into hatred. And there are people who will hate on you simply for being popular. Like, people might see what I do, and they will think, he's not doing anything special, anyone could do that. And if they see I'm doing fairly well by doing that, they're going to hate me on the basis of that. Then there's other people who just don't like how I talk, how I do my videos, and that's why you need to know your audience, because no one's ever gonna, not everyone's gonna like you. You need to realize that you will always receive, especially the more popular you become, a certain level of hate from people. Because some people will think that you're stupid, some people think that you're annoying, all part of the dribble-drabble of the internet, but there's a reason why popularity happens, because you have an audience, and you need to know what that audience is. Now, of course, you don't need to do stuff all the time for the audience, but you need to know what direction you yourself want to go in. And it's always good to listen to both constructive feedback as well as praise, to know what people are, want from you in a sense. That sounds kind of counterintuitive to what I just said, do what you love, but I believe it's good to have a good balance between doing what you love and also considering what others want, if that makes any sense. Not so much to change your direction entirely, because ultimately you make the calls here, but of course, just that sort of balance between others and yourself, which is a good balance to have in life generally. Let's see, any other tips? Well, there's a lot more I could say. Just simply be counterintuitive. You don't need to put super high effort into everything you do. I'll be honest, lots of what I do doesn't require much effort. I sort of just do it for fun, but it's part of the reason why I can develop videos so quickly sometimes. I have put my mind to it. It sometimes can take a lot of time, but I wouldn't say it takes much effort. Like what I mean by time, I'm a quality whore sometimes, so like the example I can give, the Siren Blood Curse videos. Those videos, since they take a while to record, and I usually render them in pretty high quality, those things will take like 14 to 20 hours to render. And when a video is rendering, you can barely do anything on your computer. Speaking of which, I want to get a new PC really soon. I hate having lag in my PC game recordings, as well as I want to play some of the newer games I've been getting recently. So the point is, probably during the summertime, probably in July, I'm planning to upgrade my PC. So I'm kind of trying to hold off playing too many PC games until then. And then, as I was saying earlier, I've been supporting a bunch of Kickstarter projects recently, so I guess I will be getting those games eventually, and I hope to do playthroughs of all of them. So there you go. We can definitely. One thing which I have to say, which is really nice about being a person who is productive with, I guess, videos in a sense, is that you can bring word to very niche games. People might not know that. Hey, kitty, it's Tiger. For some reason, Tiger is a cat of our friends, and it's become very. It likes me a lot for some reason, but it has this really weird meow. It's like meow. I'm like, hey, Tiger, who's anyways, getting back to what I was talking about, it's basically when you have, of course, now the dog's here. Hi there, Cookie. You had a good time outside? Yes, you had a good time. He's a happy cookie. You're a happy cookie. Anyways, Cookie's probably going to be all excited with me for a little bit, but ignoring her for a moment. What I was trying to say, though, is a good thing, which I really like being the type of gamer I am. I love playing niche games that no one saw. Of course, everyone's getting up right now. I was going to say, I really love playing niche games that no one's really heard of, or the games that people just don't really hear about that often. And through videos, it can help people sort of get more notice, as well as the fact that for my own self enjoyment, I like rewatching sometimes, seeing how a game was, and to recall fond memories of the first time you played it, especially if you really liked it. I think I mentioned this before. The reason why I even started doing Let's Plays in the first place was due to Resident Evil 4, which was, I hate to say it, my first horror game. I got into the genre kind of late because I used to be a really scared person. The idea of horror games used to scare me. I got this funny story. There was these group of friends who moved to college, and I got their Dreamcast and their collection of games years ago, like in the early 2000s. And they came with a variety of games, and I regret this these days, but I was really young back then. I think like 12 years old, basically. Maybe it was 13. It was 12, 13. And one of the games that we got was Resident Evil, the first one. It was on the Dreamcast. And the idea of playing a scary game scared me so much. I tried playing it with all the different games, but it scared me so much I broke the disc. I've never done that with any other game, so I was thinking that's kind of an interesting story to tell, especially since I love them so much these days. And I would love to have it. That's what my Dreamcast is working to an extent, but that's all good. But the point with that, all the same, sometimes your tastes really change, and since I've been going through all these different horror games I hadn't previously, ever since I played Resident Evil 4, I owe a lot to Resident Evil 4 as a game. And for Let's Playing, I really wish I'd recorded my first time playing, not because I did particularly good, but because it's those kind of fond memories that you have when you go through a game that you really love that you can just kind of call back to. I've been waiting to do a playthrough of Resident Evil 4 for a while, only because, as I've been saying here, it's a very special game to me, both because of my love for horror games and because it's what inspired me in the first place to do Let's Plays years before I actually started doing them, because I wish I could have recorded that. It was stupidly funny to me and some other people, because I actually did not play it alone. I was there with my brother and a friend, but all the same, enough for recalling on the past. Yeah, I also want to answer any questions that people have. I'm not exactly sure what you want to ask me. I mean, you guys will probably have a lot more to ask me once you find out some of the projects I'm involved with. But it doesn't have to be about anything I've mentioned in this video. It could just be anything in general, Let's Plays, game development. You might know me from someplace else. Probably not. I mean, there's a few things I could name, but I don't need to right now. And I understand there's not too much right now. I'm going to ask this question again once I reveal some of the projects I'm working on here. But In the meantime, feel free to ask anything, and I hope you all are having a wonderful spring. The weather has been delightfully bipolar here. Right now, it is rainy today, but yesterday it was very sunny. But I kind of like the rain. It's kind of, I mean, I've been using this time to write down these documents and all these notebooks, so it's a dorky activity I do in my free time. Is that when I don't have the opportunity to work on my projects, I just brainstorm about them and see if I can fully develop them better. And that's one thing which I've been doing. This has been a very nice setting for it, just to sit down and write in notebooks for hours. That doesn't sound really fun to most of you probably, but it's very fun to me. All the same, I hope you all are having a wonderful spring all the same, and I'll catch you guys in a couple of weeks. Ask any questions, I'll answer whatever I can when I get back. Also, requests are always nice to have, just because I like to know what you guys want to see. There's a few things I'm planning. I need to finish uploading some videos I've had done for a while. The main ones I have on top of my head are Fatal Frame 2 and Silent Hill 1. I especially want to get Fatal Frame 2 done because the remake for the Wii is coming out soon. And just because it's probably coming to America. It's already confirmed it's coming to Europe in June. But just because I can't wait and I love the Fatal Frame games, I'm sort of planning just to buy another Wii, which is probably stupid of me to decide this. But I want to buy another Wii and modify it, and then just basically import the European version so I can. Maybe I'll just buy a PAL Wii. Except no, I'm just gonna buy another US Wii because I want to play Japanese games too, like Fatal Frame 4. I still have the disc, and I still have the fan translation SD cards, but I don't have a Wii because unfortunately my USB thing went. There's a funny story. The reason why that happened is because when you have the translator thing and the Wii system stuff, you're not supposed to update your Wii, as people can tell you, because Nintendo tried backing up people against piracy, because the system which I use can also be used for piracy if you go a bit more advanced. I didn't use it for piracy. I used it so I could actually play different region games they didn't have a chance in hell to come to America. Like one of the ones I really want to play is Night of the Sacrifice. That is never coming to America, unfortunately. And Fatal Frame 4 is another one that probably never will. Hopefully it might someday, but not anytime soon. And because of that, that's why I got a Wii. I backed up my Wii in the first place and modified it some. Unfortunately, made the USB drive blow up because what happened is that my sister got a friend that came over. No offense to her, she was a complete bitch. My sister no longer likes her, but she lived with us for like a couple months to be exact, and she caused a mess, and she really did not clean up after herself at all. She was a huge drama queen. It was not fun living with her for that time. But one thing which she did is that I warned them not to use any games in the Wii that were new because they would update the Wii automatically, and then we would just break the USB drive. But didn't listen to me. They played Just Dance 2, and that made it so it no longer worked. Oh, fun. But, what happens, happens. Things keep on rolling. Also, check out Lone Survivor. I know I have a playthrough on this, but I want to support the guy. He's actually very nice, and it's on Steam now, so you can check that out. All the same, catch you guys soon, and adieu.